everybody, my name's Marina. It's the Marina Show. The introduction's over. Okay, so I'm terrible at math, okay? You all know this. I was talking about numbers last time, got completely confused, okay? So 7 times 70 times 7, 490, I don't know. Why is this even relevant? I'll tell you why, because there's someone in your life right now that you are unwilling to forgive, and I know it's true. I don't mean to scare you with my lawyer tactics. Is it true, viewer, that there's someone in your life that you're unwilling to forget? Is it true that this person has harmed you in the last month? I believe it is. Your Honor, it appears as though the viewer has someone that they have not forgiven in the past month. Okay, enough with the lawyer jokes. Let's really talk seriously. I want you to take a minute and think of someone that's really annoyed you this past month, maybe 2 months. Honestly, take a minute, because this exercise will not work if you don't think of that person, okay? So, who are you thinking of? Take a minute, Keda. Think about it. I'm waiting for you to think about it. Don't look at me. Think about the person. Okay. Do you have it? Think about the person. All right, excellent work. Now, I know they're in your head. Think about what they did. The last thing that just set you right off, you called up your best friend, and you're like, you cannot believe what she just did, or you cannot believe what he just did, okay? I want to think of that person. Think of the last thing that they did that really set you right off, okay? Have it? Okay. So now you're a little angry. Just stay down. Don't turn off the TV. I'm still here. We're going to work through this together, okay? We can help each other, okay? So there's this person in your life that you clearly have not forgiven, okay? So, okay, you forgave him, but you just somehow remember the last thing that they did to you. Whatever. Okay, so let's ask Jesus, okay? Because Jesus is the best, man to come to for this. There's actually someone who has annoyed me, Jesus. I'm trying to be discerning, okay? But I can't handle this. We always come to Christ and we're like, please help me with this thing. You know when people annoy you so much that it's almost like a burden on your heart? Okay, I'm being completely dramatic, but it's not going to work unless you think of this person, okay? So St. Peter is struggling with this same thing that we are right now. He's thinking of this, person that's bothered him. So he walks right up to Jesus. He's like, Jesus, give it to me straight, okay? I'm a forgiving person. We're all forgiving. How many times do I need to do this? Because it's taking a toll. So he goes to Jesus in Matthew, 18:21. Then Peter came up to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? He's like, Jesus, I'm being generous here, okay? I'm setting it here at 7 times. Is that enough? Let me know. Okay, I didn't say 6, I didn't say 4, I said 7, okay? He's trying to look like he's a good, person. Jesus is like, no. And he's like, okay. It's not actually what happened. Jesus goes, no. So now we're at 22. Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. I actually, sad story, had to get out my calculator because I was like, Jesus, that's a lot of times. That's 490 times a day that we have to forgive. He's not saying that's how many times we have to forgive. That's how much he's saying we fall. He's saying your brother, you, everybody around you, your mom, people in your house, 490 times a day. That's how many times you fall in the sight of God. 490. Peter's like, so 7? He's like, no, 490. 7 times 70 times, okay? So Jesus is amazing. I love him. He says, little parable, okay? He tells a story. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to tell you guys how it is, okay? So there's this big master. He has a servant, okay? Servant owes him a ton of denarii, in current lingo, money, skrilla, cash, whatever works for you, okay? Servant owes him all this money, okay? And the servant is like, Master, please. He falls down on his knees. He's like, please, forgive me. I can't pay you back. Please have compassion on me, okay? And the master's like, fine, I will be compassionate on you. Don't worry. Go with your debt, okay? Go off. Servant's like, thank you so much. So then, what happens? So the servant is like, I'm free. He's walking down the street. runs into another servant, not a master. Okay, he's forgiven by the master. Okay, the servant's here, master's up there. He's forgiven by the master. Then he's walking down the street. He runs into this next servant. He's like, brother, what just happened? You owe me 100 denarii. And he's like, I'm sorry, I don't have it. Have compassion on me. He's like, I will not have compassion on you. You owe me 100 denarii. Pay up. The master, okay, comes out and sees what the servant is doing, yelling at some other servant about 100 denarii. When the master just forgave him, comes up to the servant and is like, I'm sorry. Did I just not have compassion upon you for what I just forgave you, for how much you owed me? And this is how you're repaying it? You can't even forgive this little guy for this little amount when I just forgave you this huge amount? How does that even work? Okay? So the master's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. You can go and get tortured as a little servant because I have taught you nothing clearly. How does this relate to our lives? Hopefully you've made the connection. If you haven't, I'll pray for you. Okay. The connection is, there's Jesus dying for our sins because he says that you sin 490 times a day. That's a lot of times, okay? That's how many times you have a bad thought, a straying thing. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about myself. I don't mean to be a preacher, okay? That's how many times I fall a day, 490. Jesus is getting whipped. He dies on the cross for that 490 times, okay? Your brother, and you're like, please have compassion on me. He dies. He pays the price of his entire life for this, to forgive you for each one of those 490 times however many days you live. I don't have a calculator on the set, okay? And then, this person that you thought of, don't say you didn't think of anyone because I gave you like 10 minutes to think of someone, okay? This person has harmed you once. In fact, I told you to think of the last thing they did to you, okay? One time. 491, okay? And you can't forgive them. Even though the master has forgiven you. If the master's forgiving you all this way, you can't go down just like that. How are you living? How am I living in the image of Christ? I'm not even true to my own Christianhood, okay? So I really, really love this term 7 times 70 times. That's how many times God knows we sin. He knows our nature. He's saying that about us, okay? He's saying that about humanity. How can we not accept that number and forgive our brother? You know what Jesus is saying? You remember that last thing that he did to you so bad, or she did to you so bad, and it burned? Let that thing happen 490 times. I really hope I'm using the right number. Anyways, 490 times. Forgive them every time. Even if that sting was the same, because your master has forgiven you. See how beautiful Jesus is? He's telling the story knowing that he's going to die for our sins. So next time someone sins against you once, times that by 7, then times that by 70. And that's how many times you need to forgive. And if you're having trouble doing that, remember his blood on the cross. 7 times 70 times. See you next time on The Marina Show.